Hello everybody and welcome to Manga Reflux. This week we are discussing Bleach 607 and Naruto, The Search for Tsunade arc.
Thing.
That's going to be fun. Alright, so, as usual, as we always do, because it came first as far as these recaps go, we're going to talk about Bleach. So, Bleach 607, titled, I believe, The Master.
Apparently.
Yeah, that's what mine says.
Yeah. I don't know whether the taps came out on the mic, but, you know, Doctor Who joke for everybody. Yay!
Great, awesome.
Someone will get that. Alright,
Somebody will.
So, title page in color, because somehow Bleach still rates that, I guess. Also, I love the text at the top. The blood war in the royal palace is gritty and full of bloodshed. And redundant sentences are redundant.
The blood war is bloody and
Mine just
gritty.
says eccentric monk. What the hell? Mine's so lacking.
Yeah.
It says mysterious monk. They had to hyphenate it. It's Mr. Rius.
that face.
Yeah.
Color
Big
page
red
for the
eyes.
climax of the final arc. And it's a colored page of this weirdo dude with the beardo that nobody cares about.
In fairness, it's a cool image, but
it's not exactly... You have one color page. And you can do so much more with that.
it's the first color page it's gotten in, I imagine, a long, long time. And they use it on this one character that's been in like 3 chapters.
Yeah, it's not great.
His face is kind of
seems
horrifying.
like he's a pretty good fighter, though, so I don't know. I guess he shows more value later.
But once again, where the fuck is Ichigo?
Who?
Exactly. He doesn't even get to be on the artwork for the manga anymore.
I don't forget
what
about
the fuck
him.
is this guy? He's going to be the image.
I don't forget about Ichigo because he's like the scan later image on the next page. So I know that he exists somewhere in the stratosphere.
Because
So-
the fans.
And,
Because the
what's
fans.
his name? Alright, so fighting stuff, and then Pink Girl. It split up the fan art for some reason. I think that's Ruruka from the... What's his name?
No, I think that's the strength girl from the girls that beat up Kenpachi and then lost.
Can I get a link?
Ichigo.
Is she? Oh yeah, she's got the thing on a ribbon. The 5-point thing. I don't know, whatever. Anyway. The selling stuff, great. I think. Aizen still rates that, by the way. Good for Aizen.
What?
People still remember the great days of Aizen.
The only villain in Bleach that meant something.
Yeah.
The only villain in Bleach.
Yeah, I could just cut it off right there.
Yeah.
Alright. I feel like this entire page with Mustache deserves a dramatic reading. So we need someone to have the deepest voice possible. So I'm going to say Kenshi. Ken, could you give us a dramatic reading of this, please?
Alright. How I feel, you ask? Do I look like I'm suffering to you? The leader of the very squad that watches over the Shinigami fears my power such that he has to have it halved. Could there be a feeling better than this?
That was pretty cool.
It was. That was really good.
Yeah. That's a pretty good attitude, too.
Mm-hmm.
For the villain to have. It's like, fuck yeah, you're so afraid of me, you can't fight me at full power and stuff. That's pretty good. Yeah. And then he's like, no, fuck it. I can put it back anyway.
How does he do that? Does he pull in something from around him?
It's-
like another life
the
of one of his
same
subordinates
way.
or something?
It's It's probably the life force from his ordnance again, doing the same thing twice. Or maybe he had some left over just in case. You never know.
Did you forget
That's
that
entirely
I could do
possible.
this?
There were more of them down there, and apparently it's a broken ability that doesn't make any sense. So 1 for 1.
Just like, hey guy, did you forget I could do this? You remember when I could do this? Look at me, I restore my power. You want to try having again? Huh?
Yeah, so then Monk Face again, because Monk Face. So no one can take anything from him, not even etc. Everything in this world exists for my taking.
All right, Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Can we stop having people like this? I mean, look, Gilgamesh was awesome, as much as I hate his fucking guts, but he was cool. And there's been other king characters like this in this series. It's getting a little much.
Strangely enough, in comparison to this guy, I kind of miss Barragan.
Yeah, a little bit.
Barragan
was cool. I mean,
Yeah.
He's like,
skeleton.
Hey,
He was a pissed off old man, that was cool.
He was an angry old man skeleton that had the power over time, and he's just like, I'm gonna aid you, and now you're dying, and this is fun. And I used to be the king of Wikamundo, and I'll be the king one day. I can go the distance.
Get off my lawn!
Which in Wikamundo is technically everything.
Yeah, that's all his lawn, so, you know. Okay, so posturing, and then
They're just
clap.
trash talking. That's all. Just trash talk.
Takes the kindness of others for granted. For the sake of preserving your dignity, I specifically chose to take away only half of your abilities. So I love this. I love he's like, come again? Like, what? That's a weird way to phrase it for the big badass villain that just had a massive speech about how awesome he is. And he's like, what? Sorry? Could you run that by me again, please?
What do you mean only half?
And apparently the mysterious monk was letting him just be weaker so that he could say, hey, I was weakened in that fight. That wasn't a fair fight. I totally could have taken him at full power.
If he intends to kill him, this doesn't make any sense. He's not going to escape and lick his wounds amongst his allies or whatever. He still has any of those left.
That was the top panel, and the bottom panel has Rocket Monk.
Yeah.
Astro Monk.
Leaving the stratosphere to go on adventures far beyond our galaxy.
I love this manga sometimes. In the stupid way, not in the good way.
Yeah.
But, oh well. If you're dead, your reputation isn't worth a damn anyway. Well, that's not wrong.
This is probably the wrong series to say that in. I mean...
Okay, so something happens.
He throws some kind of chain attack at him, and then he makes a shield, which is, I guess, the Quincy thing. I don't know.
They already established the weird Quincy shield.
It's Blutvein, but with it's expanded beyond him, kind of thing. It's like that whole armor technique that they used. It's like makes the skin hard or something.
Quincy Hero.
Yeah, that.
Why don't the Shinigami have a version of that? That seems like a serious problem.
Because they're used to everyone ripping off their techniques and don't know how to rip off techniques themselves.
Right. It's a good point, actually.
Yeah, the Quincy's did it, and the fucking Aroncar did it too. So, with Flash Step became...
Sundido.
Sonido and Hirenkyaku, I think it was, the Quincy one.
Sounds right.
But it's totally different because... Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Totally different.
Okay, and now we have the new concept that's no one really cared about or asked for, of Hidden Hado Sano Do, I think that says. Or Uh-oh, which is the third path, apparently, according to translation. Iron Wind Strike. Okay, and it looks like...
The gigantic karate chop.
It's more the bloated dragon thing I'm looking at.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's like a giant fish or something.
It looks like it's doing a kissy face.
It's going to spew out some water. It's going to use its I don't even know the Pokemon move for that. Bubble?
Water gun.
Water gun, yeah. Or bubble.
Is that Hakuda?
Is that what?
Hakuda, their hand-to-hand shit. Because I haven't seen it in forever. I haven't seen actual hand-to-hand
technique. This is
technique.
Hado. This is Aikido. I don't know.
That's Aikido.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the hidden one that nobody knows except him, probably. Something like that.
I could buy that. I mean, they're old. They're Zero Division.
Apparently this guy's the captain of Zero Division. According to Yuha Bako here.
It looks like
we know what happens to captains.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you insist on getting so intimate, it will eventually consume your entire body. Yeah, he's getting eaten by the shield thing, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Consume for power, pretty much.
Yeah, my shield does that. It's not just like a wall. If you get close, it will start to eat you.
I wish my shield did that. It's a great shield.
At the very least, this was foreshadowed because it was on the ground when it was formed before.
So it's taking over the left side of the monk's body, and then he's like, nope, and flexes and gets rid of it.
He's too swole for your technique to take hold.
Oh, god damn it, Cam. I've created a monster.
Is this guy Master Roshi or something? What the hell?
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with the super awesome monk character.
I guess. This late in the series, though?
You give us daily at the altar of arm crunches and curls.
Yeah, okay. Also, what is up with him attacking the guy's neck? This is twice now. It's the only injury he's done to him.
So, the monk is now taking offense to Yuhabok's, invasion of the royal palace, and is like, be less of a dick, or I'll judge you and shit.
That's the best way to put it.
What?
Just be less of a jerk.
Okay, this posturing, this entire chapter was basically just posturing.
It is. I said it's just trash talk. That's the only reason this chapter exists.
So he's releasing his Zanpakuto. The release phrase is either paint it black. I was waiting for Zero to start singing, that's okay. Or
Ichimonji?
Or to turn wrong to right. Kurome is his release phrase. So paint it black or turn wrong to right.
Dun 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 dun.
I don't know what he's saying.
And yes, Ichimonji is the name of his Zanpakuto, which incidentally is the name of his sword in One Piece. It's the important one.
I think I like the second option of that one, being a monk. The turn wrong to right.
Yeah, it's probably intentional, the double meaning. I mean, it looks like a brush, so paint, and it seems to paint things black, so... But turning wrong to right is probably also intentional as the double meaning.
Japanese like their double meaning of their kanji.
They do. I like to play with them. It's like puns or something.
Look, Mom, I can play with my kanji.
And then fan art page, and Rukia got tits at some point. I don't know where those came from. She was always the... what's the term? The tiny body thing.
Flat-chested, or Patenko, Lolly.
Thank you, Patenko character.
All these things.
Alright. Slicer knows them all, because...
How can you not, with anime at the state it is these days?
Granted. Alright, so, that was Bleach, and it had some great stuff in it, but fucking Jesus Christ, just fight already, for fuck's sake.
Literally, this chapter did not need to happen. That's the thing.
Well, it did, because they needed a big reveal for his Zanpakuto, but beyond that, no, it kind of didn't.
I mean, okay, yeah, but everything before it was just, well, my spiritual penis is bigger than yours. No, wait, my spiritual penis is much larger than yours, and I can make its size increase at any time.
Mine is a
literally all it was. That's literally all this chapter was, and I'm just okay. Where's Ichigo? I think he has the biggest spiritual penis.
I think he has spiritual penis envy right now.
No, he's waiting to show up later. If he showed up now, it would just blow everyone out of the water.
Gosh darn it, Bleach.
Yeah. So, thanks, Bleach. We're moving on to Naruto now because that was dumb. Alright, so. The Search for Tsunade arc is our arc of choice this week.
Not choice, it's chronological.
It's chronological is a choice. Thank you.
I guess.
Well, we kind of set a precedent by starting, so we didn't really have a choice. You would have skipped this if you could.
You always have a choice, Ken.
You have a responsibility to these fans to torture yourself for their amusement.
Yeah.
Alright, so the Search for Tsunade arc.
Just starts during the rebuilding, and Naruto is not helping.
No, he's not.
He can make hundreds, thousands of himself, and he's not helping. What the hell?
Yeah, you think he might, be like, hey, Naruto, we kind of need your help because you kind of make all the clones in the entire world. You could literally make an army and rebuild this entire area in a day.
Yeah.
But, okay. Go off and wander around then.
It's weird how a lot of the time there's the author goes out of his way to show mundane uses for all the cool shit that the characters can do, like using fire jutsu to cook things, or water jutsu to fish and stuff like that.
Or Yamato's wood jutsu to build a fucking entire block of houses.
Yeah.
That one's a given, so yeah.
Poor Yamato.
Yeah.
He was probably doing that shit right here.
Yeah. In fairness, that's supposedly how the village was built in the first place, but yeah.
Yeah. And that's a good thing. I mean, how many homes do you think are just destroyed? People are homeless.
So, yeah. The Jiraiya wants Naruto to help him find Tsunade because she's, the best candidate for Hokage.
Was that painful to say for you? That sounded painful.
According to Jiraiya, who's basically, I don't want this job. Fuck this job.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which, that's not invalid, but I feel like there might be a little bit of bias in him saying she might be the best candidate.
Yeah, maybe.
maybe.
Well,
I'm sure there are other ones. Yamato might have been okay.
Yamato?
Why not? He had wood release, and part of being Hokage is not so much about being incredibly battle capable, as shown by Tsunade, because apparently she's okay with it, despite being drunk and fucking useless waster for 10 years.
This is an early start. I wasn't expecting this yet.
So yeah, Yamato being the only guy that has wood release would be a very good deterrent.
I would say Shikaku as well, but maybe that's too close. He can't be a strategist if he's also the Hokage. Just bogged down with work.
He is a strategist. He is not a lead. Would you be inspired by Shikaku?
Not really. Then again, I suppose there's a sense of security in knowing that your Hokage knows what the hell he's doing.
Yeah. So, there were absolutely better options.
yeah, totally.
But Senju, so, you know.
Or Don.
That whole thing.
This was so stupid. And you've got to know that at least some of this was about there are no strong female characters in Bleach. Not Bleach, Naruto. My apologies. I got stuck in Bleach mode. There are no strong female characters in Naruto, so we need to put one in. So, what's her backstory?
You probably realize that if that sweet-ass Ino versus Sakura fight.
Okay, so now that we've set the tone for what this entire arc is going to consist of, as far as the recap is concerned.
Don't worry, we're not going to get back to this for a while, so...
A little while, yeah. So we have the return of Itachi as the first part of it, which is... Oh, sorry. We need to backtrack a little bit. Jiraiya is teaching Naruto how to do the Rasengan. Because... yeah, that is probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Just in general.
His teaching style leaves a hell of a lot to be desired, but, you know.
Here you go. Here's an actual attack jutsu. And it's sealess, so you don't have to learn anything. You don't have to do all that other, ninja stuff. Ninja stuff, you're above that. Just make a ball of energy in your hand and slam it into people's chests.
Do any of his techniques actually use hand seals?
No.
Shadow Clone uses one.
Uses one.
And it's a unique
That's
symbol
not
as
really
well.
a hand seal. It's more just crossing your fingers. So, yeah.
Wait, is that a unique hand symbol, or is it like double ram?
It's just a unique hand seal.
Alright.
It's technique specific.
So, yeah. You know how they used to do the fucking... what was it? The... ranking the abilities and stuff, and it was 1 out of 5. And
yeah.
That was ranked out of 5. He should have had 1 out of 5 for hand seals.
I think he does.
Yeah.
It's not like he uses them.
He never uses them, thus he never trains them, thus he never learns anything about improving them or anything like that, no.
It's like somebody learning a second language in high school and then never using it for like a decade and a half. It's just
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... learning the Rasengan. Yay! This technique is never going to go away. It's going to be the mainstay focus of the entire repertoire of his combat abilities. Woo!
And ultimately steal his arm. Woo!
That's what you get. You live by the sword, you die by the sword.
That's a good
Usually
way to put it.
You don't die by your own sword, though. That's not how it's supposed to work.
This is Naruto we're talking about. This is the other way that was going to end. He's going to fall on his own sword.
Yeah. Yeah. So, they're gonna totally go find Tsunade, and they stop at a village and stuff, and Jiraiya gets distracted by Pretty Lady.
You're totally skipping Itachi's awesome intro.
Am I?
And Kisamene's.
You mean where they waltz into an enemy village?
Yeah,
that was a good idea.
Oh, right. Yeah, there's a picture of that. I didn't even realize. I completely skipped over this entire bit.
With their awesome cloaks and hats.
Those are sweet cloaks. I'm not so keen on the hats, to be honest with you. But that's just me.
I'm a fan of a good hat.
Yeah, so...
They get busted like 5 minutes in by Asuma and Kurenai.
How did they do that, by the way?
I don't know. 2 dudes in cloaks hanging out in the fucking sweet shop in your village.
I mean, it's suspicious, but how did they just guess
their... obscuring the faces and stuff. I mean, cloaks cover up to their mouths, and they got the hats that cover the rest of their face. Though, you might notice the fact that Kasame has some blue skin.
Right.
That might raise some eyebrows.
Yeah. That's kind of a noticeable feature to look out for.
So anyway,
what color is your...
Yeah, go ahead.
What color is your skin? It's blue. Do you have gills? No.
In fairness to Itachi, he is kind of an unremarkable looking dude. He just looks like a dude.
If it wasn't for his eyes, yeah, he'd blend in pretty well, I guess.
And he can turn those off, so...
Does he? Does he ever turn them off?
He doesn't, because apparently once you get Manga killed, the amount of chakra it uses is minimal. But he could if he wanted to.
I was not aware of that little detail, actually. Yeah.
Unless you're Kakashi. Well, basically, unless you had the eye implanted into you, and you're not used to it, then it'll burn like a motherfucker, basically. Yeah. So, they fight, or something.
And then Kakashi shows up to be the hero.
Pretty one-sided fight.
And he is not the hero at all.
Also, once again, reaffirming there are no strong female characters in Naruto by having one of them fight and losing handily.
At her own thing.
Did she fight Itachi or Kasame, though?
She fought Itachi. She put him in a genjutsu. He blinked and reversed it on her.
Yeah, that was a bad matchup from the start. That's like 10-10 and Tamari. Only worse.
Not really. I mean, it'd be like 10-10 fighting someone that uses weapons all the time, only better than she does.
Alright, fair enough.
So, yeah. So, Kakashi comes in and saves the day and stuff. Except he kind of doesn't.
Yeah.
You know who does?
So much for the Sharingan making him immune thing.
Yeah. And then, Guy shows up.
The real hero of the day.
The real hero of the manga, let's be honest. Guy is awesome.
He is. It's great. Him and Lee. Totally the best.
The most competent teacher.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, he really does put a lot of effort into teaching Lee. And just about Lee.
Pretty much just Lee, yeah. I mean, it's not a good example to follow, but at least he's good.
At least he's consistent. At least he's consistent.
He teaches Lee, and he probably teaches Neji what he can't already learn from his clan, which is like the entirety of his fighting style. So it'd be like strength exercises and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably.
Flexibility and all sorts of stuff like that. Him being the best taijutsu guy. 10-10 probably gets the short end of the stick. Let's be honest.
She gets throwing practice, and then how not to fight a melee user. I don't imagine those fights last very long.
Yeah, so... But Guy is awesome. And probably should have been more from... I imagine people have written fics where Guy is the sensei for Team 7, yes?
Not Team 7, but Naruto has been placed on Team Guy a lot. I've seen a lot of those.
I feel like that should be something someone does. Someone needs to do that fic, because that would be interesting.
Normally when I read stuff with Guy in it, they pretty much sell the fact that he is the best teacher out of all of them. So...
he's pretty much the only one that bothers to teach things, so yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how I have him, actually, and now that I realize it.
I mean, Asuma is kind of lazy about it. Kakashi is absolutely lazy about it. Kurenai, despite being the Genjutsu master of Konoha, does not actually teach her Genin any Genjutsu at all.
None of them are suited for it. Kiba's a melee fighter. Shino has his hive that would probably get in the way of it, and Hinata does not have the right mindset for hurting people mentally.
But that doesn't exactly make her a good teacher either, because the one thing that she could teach, she can't teach them.
Who put these teams together?
I don't know.
They just fucking
Sarutobi,
have a
who's
fucking roulette.
probably a little bit senile.
Ninja roulette.
Yeah. Alright, so you're gonna draw straws on which team you get, okay?
Spin this big-ass wheel with every grad student of this year on it. Whichever one lands on the arrow, that's who you get. You get 3 spins.
That feels tragically realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, so Guy shows up and saves the day, and the other guys run away and stuff, because Guy's awesome, and no one wants to deal with that.
No one wants beef with Guy.
Mm.
You might beat Guy, but you ain't doing anything else afterwards.
Yeah. So Naruto and Jiraiya are fucking going and stuff.
Jiraiya's getting his swerve on.
Naruto's stuck in their little hotel room or flat or whatever they're in.
It would have been better if Jiraiya had taken the room and put a sock on the door and left him out.
That would have some disturbing implications, considering the woman is not... She's Genjutsu to the eyeballs, so... Great. Awesome.
Now you feel bad.
Yeah, kind of. Thanks, Lisa. Much appreciated. So, yeah. The Akatsuki dudes, Hitachi and Kasame, show up and stuff. And we're like, hey, why don't you come with us, little boy? We have candy and stuff. Something. Also, we're going to break your legs for some reason.
We have candy and torture.
Candy.
But mostly torture.
And candy.
Kasame really likes breaking legs, and I'm not sure where that obsession started.
It's because he's part fish, and he feels they're unnatural.
Right.
Oh,
Literally off the top
man.
of my head. I don't know why I came up with that so fast.
Kisame in The Little Mermaid. You don't need legs, you're a fish.
So sad, so sad. Someone needs to write that fic too. Kisame and a Little Mermaid.
Under the sea. If you go up, I'll break your legs, so come back under the sea.
That would be a very different tale if Ariel's dad was Kasame.
Oh, I'd love to read it though. That'd be good.
It would. That sounds really
It'd be
good.
fun. Alright. So, Sasuke shows up to... I don't know what the fuck he was planning to do, really. Get his ass beat. That's pretty much what happened, so...
Charged an
quite sure.
class missing, then screaming. That was his entire plan.
2, technically.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good job, little Genin. You really know your weight class, don't you?
He gets a little star that says, "You tried."
No, he doesn't.
No. He gets a really deformed-looking brown star.
Made of wet cardboard, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Itachi kind of just made the Chidori look worthless. He grabbed his hand to stop it.
Yeah.
Grabbed him at the wrist.
It's probably the most awesome way to stop it. Just grab right next to it and just be like, no, sorry.
You mean this
off
you mean
switch.
this dangerous part right here? What if I grab the part behind that instead? With your little baby reach, your little 12-year-old baby reach, you ain't touching me.
So now Jiraiya actually comes to save the day with summoning and stuff. I'm seeing a strange pattern in this. Someone shows up to save the day, and then they don't save the day, but someone else comes to save the day, and they absolutely save the day.
Is this foreshadowing? Is that? I don't think that was intentional.
I don't know.
It's just they.
I don't think it was intentional. It's just a weird pattern that's forming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they carry on going. Jiraiya and Naruto on the road again. Can't wait to get out on the road again.
I knew you'd do that.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. So they're searching for what's her name?
Tsunade.
The stupid character that doesn't make any sense. Yay!
And they find her
Right.
because she leaves a trail of debt everywhere, and they can follow it.
Yeah.
At least that's what the anime showed us.
Strong female character. Oh! I need to rephrase that. That has really unfortunate implications.
Yeah, it does.
I was going for a Racketeer kind of thing, but no, I just kind of... That went in a different direction. So, yeah, this is the strong female character that we're looking forward to. Up to our eyeballs in debt and drunk off her ass every day. That's... Yay. Equality. So, yeah, Orochimaru and Kabuto are also looking for Tsunade so she can heal his arms, because apparently you can heal having the arms of your soul ripped out.
Yeah, that
You know
doesn't
what?
work. That really doesn't work.
I believe I can do it. Basically, like, technically, if he uses somebody else's soul arm...
That is a good point. Yeah, that would work.
Because
I mean,
he
it
is
would-
the type of person who would do that.
I don't think that would ever work quite right, because it's not your soul, but yeah.
How exactly would you finagle that? I mean, I imagine you would have to use the fucking Reaper Death Seal again just to do that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I am not a master of every single jutsu. I am not the Orochimaru.
Oh, we also skipped Tsunade's really smutty nickname.
Strong female character. Oh. Yeah. So, Tsunade is the legendary sucker.
The nickname that spawned hundreds, at least, of smut fics.
Yeah.
She's... Like, I feel like...
I love that phrasing, Zero. Oh, jeez.
I feel like... Okay, here are your options for Hokage. You have a guy who's perverted, but still pretty strong. And then you've got a woman who's drunk and gambling, and you want her to lead your village. And you want her...
Once again, those are not your only two options.
Those are the two options that apparently we have. Apparently.
The two options they sell to us, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even... I feel like it'd be better if Danzo took over the village.
Oh god, no.
Like...
Let's list, shall we? Tsunade. Terrible. Jiraiya. Doesn't want to do it. Danzo really wants to do it, but he's creepy as fuck and does some really terrible things to children. Kakashi probably wouldn't say no, but not so sure he would be great at it. Guy.
That would be the best village ever. They would stop being ninjas and they would all just be warriors. And then you could finally have your story. Kishimoto. You could finally
They
have
also
that
wouldn't
story you wanted.
They
I'd be
wouldn't
okay
have
with
headbands
guys.
anymore. They'd have matching tracksuits.
Whatever, they
Yeah,
all wear the
that's a bad
same
thing.
uniform anyway.
Yeah, they do. Or you have Yamato, who would probably be pretty good. He'd be pretty good Hokage, all told.
Yeah.
And you still have that deterrent thing because of the wood release, because that's a big deal apparently. We have Shikaku, who would do a damn good job, but he'd be have to be constantly hounded to do it. Any other candidates we want to mention?
I guess maybe
someone could use Ito
advisors?
Tensei. Someone could use Ito Tensei and reincarnate heroes in back. Oh wait, their soul is gone. Never mind.
Okay, that's actually a really good idea, because then they're immortal and they can pretty much just rule forever.
Pretty much. But yeah, ruling out the Edo Tensei, there's 6 candidates there. And almost all of them, on the face of it, and not with the benefits of hindsight, would probably do a better job than Tsunade, the legendary sucker, who is either drunk or gambling, or drunkenly gambling.
Which is the best kind.
Yeah. So, I hate this arc. I hate so many things about this arc. Tsunade is absolutely top of the list, but... okay, so they're searching for Tsunade so that she can be Hokage, and Orochimaru searching for Tsunade so she can heal his arms, because that works for
some reason.
Bullshit reasons. Not even bullshit reasons, it just works. They don't even give reasons. So, in the meantime, Naruto is learning how to use the Rasengan, and then they get to what's-its-name town, no one cares.
What's his name?
And Tsunade has already been approached by Orochimaru by the time they get there, and has offered her to have her little brother and her boyfriend back with the Edo Tensei.
Because nothing says awesome like fucking a zombie version of the person you were with 20 years ago.
You beat me to it.
I hadn't even considered it, but the moment you mentioned the word zombie,
Same problem with vampires. No blood flow, people.
Oh.
Or no blood at all.
Oh. Yeah, no blood flow. That's not gonna work.
I guess he could, like, wear something, but...
Strap on.
Something.
Ew. Okay.
Parts falling
Yeah.
off.
Moving on.
So, oh yeah, and Tsunade has to kill people for that to work. And she has to choose the people herself, apparently.
At least that's understandable. I mean, you need a soul for that technique to work.
You do, but kind of counterproductive to say, hey, you need to murder 2 people, and we'll totally do this, though.
Because Orochimaru has like 1 billion prisoners just on tab. We've seen this already.
He could absolutely do that part himself, and it would cost him next to nothing, realistically. But no, he asks her to do it because...
It's part of the trade, I guess.
Because
he uses the
he's
technique, and she finds the fuel for it.
Because he's evil.
Yeah, pretty much.
How would that make her want to do it? Hey, I'm going to do this awesome thing for you, but oh yeah, you need to kill people.
Instead of being, hey, I'm going to do this awesome thing for you if you heal my arms, come with me, I got like 50 prisoners back at my place. We could just pick
Why
two
would
of
he
them.
even mention the prisoners? Just say, hey, I can totally do this for you. Okay, here you go. That's it.
Don't even mention the cost of it? Yeah, that makes sense. I guess it's
Whatever.
Orochimaru's inability to, I don't know, not come out on top of a deal.
Okay. So yeah, Joy and Naruto find Tsunade in a bar or something.
Or
Right.
something.
I'll be fair and call it a tavern. It sells other things aside from alcohol.
Okay. And yay, she's there, and they say, hey, come be Hokage, and she's like, nope.
But why? It's such an awesome job.
I mean, the previous guy died, but other than that, it's fine.
The guy before that died. The guy before that
yeah.
died too.
Yeah.
And her response, entirely reasonable, is, Why would I want? Why should I be Hokage? I would be terrible at it. Have you seen what I've been doing for the past 10 years? I've been drunk off my ass or gambling. I am up to my eyeballs in debt, and all that debt would become part of the village's debt because I would be running it. So, that would put the village out of millions, and they'd kind of be stuck with me at that point. So, no, that makes no sense. Why would I ever be Hokage?
Do you think maybe that was one of the reasons why she actually accepted?
Well, she doesn't say any of that
far too
because
selfless.
that would be realistic.
That is far too selfless a reason for the situation, and you know it.
Yeah, so none of that stuff I just said happened. No, her reason is I hate the village because... Okay.
People died. Oh no.
People I cared about died, and I am the only one who understands my pain of people dying in a war that my entire village fought in, and thousands of people died in, many of whom had families.
Joji doesn't seem to have a mom. Kiba doesn't have a dad.
Yeah.
Less said about Hinata's situation, the better. Tenten's an orphan. Lee's an orphan, I think.
I have no idea if that's canon.
Yeah. Neji, too, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so... Oh, and, obviously, Sasuke doesn't even bear mentioning. Naruto, I'm pretty sure has established that he actually, calls her out on this bullshit right here.
Pretty much.
Right?
I think so,
right?
yeah.
Please tell me he does, because I hate this so much.
Unfortunately, I think he calls out more the fact that she insulted the Hokages rather than she's whining about something that everyone has suffered from in the Ninja Village.
Called out on.
I hate this series. Like, even now, we're technically looking back on the good bit of this series, and I hate it so much. This entire character setup was so terrible.
It's not great.
I don't like the village because people I cared about died in a ninja village in a ninja war. Where people die. It makes sense if you don't think about it.
And incidentally, she is actually considering the deal that Orochimaru offered her, where she would have to murder 2 people. Okay. Moving on. Before... I don't even know what before. Before I start screaming incoherently at how stupid this whole thing is. Alright.
I can't help but think if she didn't have 4 decades to cool off, then she probably would have accepted this deal. Or however long it's been she's wandering.
Like a decade, something like that. It's not quite established when she left. It's not even established whether it was before the Kyuubi incident or after. So... Same with Orochimaru, actually.
His was slightly before that, because it was as the Yonde was associated or welcomed into office or whatever.
Yeah, because part of his reason was like, hey, I should have been the Hokage, I guess. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, they do the bet thing, right? Was that an actual thing?
Yes.
A lot of what I'm going off of is fanfiction, so... basically...
They fight, Naruto misses a suck-ass Rasengan, she realizes what it is, and bets him that if he could master Rasengan in a week, she'll give him her necklace. If he loses, she's taking all his money, which is a low-value-ass bet.
Pretty much.
It's sold to us that she doesn't want to win the bet, and that's why she's risking the necklace, because it's like, you can't part with her because it's been in her family or something. It's cursed.
It's just cursed.
Well, everyone who's worn it has died, but I mean, that's purely coincidental.
Except her, she's totally fine. Also, the Shodaime, but technically he probably died of, like, old age or something.
Yeah. Also,
So,
she's dead emotionally.
She's retarded emotionally.
There you go.
Okay, so stuff happens. It's like, what was it, a week or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 7 days, so it's a week.
Yeah, and then Tsunade's going to meet Orochimaru because she's a special person.
And she slips Jiraiya the Roofalin.
Yeah, she
What?
kind of does, actually. She roofies Jiraiya. How awkward is that?
Yeah.
Or rather, ironic, maybe. I don't know. Is that irony?
Well, is it established that Jiraiya is a date rapist? I wasn't aware of this.
I can't see him seducing a wet paper
I
bag.
can see it.
I can't. No.
So, yeah, and Tsunade wants to kill Orochimaru and stuff somehow.
Which makes it even more baffling why he doesn't bring Jiraiya's back up. That doesn't make any sense.
Because
Yeah.
Did she think she could beat Orochimaru by herself after being inactive for so long?
I guess she decided on
And
the spot.
not
That's
to
what I
mention-
go for.
Not to mention being the medic of the team, and while that does not immediately make her less competent in a combat situation, it's not doing her any favors.
Makes her fight and last longer, so it's great for attrition warfare, but isn't it established that she's weaker than Orochimaru, but can beat Jiraiya, but Jiraiya can beat Orochimaru, and then... Or is it the other way around?
I think Tsunade could beat Jiraiya because, basically, well, let's be honest, Jiraiya wouldn't fight back very hard because it's Tsunade.
Right.
Jiraiya could beat Orochimaru because Jiraiya is better at stealing and stuff and things, and Orochimaru could beat Tsunade, I think. They did kind of have a rock, paper, scissors thing going on.
Kind of.
I
As
forget
with
what-
seemingly all trios in anime.
Not really. I mean,
Not really. I mean,
Naruto,
let's be
Sasuke
honest.
could
Naruto,
fuck that.
Sasuke, Sakura. There's only one way that's going to go down between either Naruto Sakura or Sasuke Sakura.
Sort of, but that kind of had to happen because, I don't know, they had bigger purposes and Sakura just quickly got left behind.
I take it back. Sasuke could beat Sakura. Sakura could absolutely beat Naruto.
And has.
For the same reasons Jiraiya would lose to Tsunade, because he wouldn't really
Yep.
fight back, yeah.
So we're absolutely right about which way the fights would go in the Sanin because, Generation Xerox.
Yep.
Yay!
This was the beginning of it. This was where it all started. Every single time they're like, oh, this character's just like this character from back then, or this character's like this character from in ages gone past, apparently, and they were reincarnated in these characters that founded the village, and then
But we don't
the
care
characters-
about that.
So, there's another concept that I hate that originated in this arc. In fairness, when it was just this, it was okay.
It wasn't too terribly bad. They didn't fit the roles perfectly, so it was just kind of similarities rather than this is a reincarnated character.
It was overuse of this concept that made me hate it with a fiery passion. Okay. So, big brawl going down and stuff because Kabuto catches Tsunade trying to kill Orochimaru.
Which isn't explained, but I guess it's kind of assumed that he would recognize the technique, which doesn't
He's
make
the
any
medic,
sense.
so
He's a
Because-
vamp-ass medic.
I guess, but I mean, the technique for restoring people's arms, he wouldn't know it. Otherwise, he would have used it already. And
he wouldn't know it, but he probably realizes that it would take more than just looking at them and going, to make it work.
now
Or
she
he could
holds up
probably-
this ball of chakra that's supposed to heal his arms, but I guess it's it was poisonous or something.
Maybe he couldn't. Maybe he didn't know the jutsu that would heal his arms, but he probably knew the jutsu that would fucking kill him.
That's a good point.
What
Yeah,
he was using.
All right.
Kabuto knows a lot about jutsus that would fucking kill people, let's be honest.
It's true.
That jutsu will not heal your arm. That jutsu will destroy you. So that's probably a bad thing.
Yeah, and Jiraiya shows up, and Naruto, because he's going to be so important in this fight.
Tsunade's there too.
Oh, right, she's a character. So, yeah, Kabuto was a spy, shock of shockers, Jesus Christ. And now we have the brawl between the three Sannin, because that's actually not terrible. Go figure. Well, kind of. Tsunade is kind of shitty because hemophobia.
Kabuto proved his worth as the dragon by cutting himself and throwing it in her face.
Yeah.
That is easily the best way to fight a hemophobia act, though. I can't talk right now.
I imagine it would be better to use someone else's blood than your own, but yes.
Well, not really, be seeing as how Tsunade can only punch things. She has to get close to the
but
blood.
he could have he could have prepared a vial of blood or something, rather than, slashing open his own arm so he's bleeding throughout the whole fight.
Hey, nothing like seeing it
not
fresh.
because he's healing. But still, it's freaking...
If you want to take the really disturbing route, you could have it just get a vial of blood from somebody who has an STD and then try to get it into her eyes. Wouldn't that be a surprise?
Thanks for that, Slicer.
Get back to the village. You have AIDS. Awesome.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know where you picked that up, but, yeah.
Good on you.
She is the I'm not going to finish that joke. Jesus Christ. Okay, so... fight's going on. Naruto's there, thus he gets his ass kicked. And then...
Should. I mean, it's high-level opponents, much higher than him.
Yep. Good on you for keeping the levels realistic, I guess, at least at this point. And then Tsunade snaps out of it because Naruto, he's just like such and such a character that I forget the name of that no one cares about because he died before we even knew he existed and before canon started and has only been introduced in this arc to show how terrible, terrible things were for Tsunade.
It's Nawaki, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah, Nawaki and Dan.
Okay, I get confused which stupid character who died for stupid reasons and is a terrible backstory is which. So,
There are a lot of them.
Back on that.
But anyway,
All right.
Naruto finishes the Rasengan. Yay.
Yay.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of. He can't do it himself. He needs himself to do it for him.
Okay. I'm sure this must have been Kabuto messing with Naruto's head, saying that he was only a ninja by luck.
It's a good point, actually, all things considered.
No. See...
He was never going to be anything else, given his background and circumstances.
He would, yeah, but he only actually passed and became a Genin because Mizuki decided to do the betrayal thing.
And that's why this was Kabuto fucking with him. It must have been, because Kabuto, having been a spy for so long and being the apprentice to Orochimaru, must know that Naruto is a Jinchuriki, and thus required, basically, to be a ninja.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not entirely clear whether he would actually know about the whole bred from an incredibly superpowered ninja, because that was a part of his character that we needed. But we don't know that Kabuto knows about that, so that's fine. But the whole Jinchuriki thing, he absolutely knows about, so he must be fucking with him, and not just actually saying things he believes, right?
I guess.
Right?
I don't really know.
I have to hold some sort of faith in this. somewhere.
Right.
There has to be a good thing that I can pick out and explain without it being really, really stupid upon analysis. Okay? Let me have this.
All right.
Okay, so... Naruto does the Rasengan, yay! And Kabuto can't repair the damage, so he has to fucking run away and stuff.
He can, but it uses up a lot of chakra, because it was shredded rather than just cut.
And in the meantime, Naruto's about to die, and Tsunade is gonna heal him and stuff, because, it was so sweet and adorable and kind of stupid. And she is now cured of her decades-long depression and alcoholism.
Well, not the alcoholism.
No, that's a running thing.
She never gets cured of that. Of course she doesn't, because that's the thing you want in a leader.
Also, she never gambles again.
Oh, really? She got miraculously cured of... I wonder what cured her of that. I'm curious.
I don't actually...
The Kyuubi's chakra.
Sure, let's go with that. Moving on.
It just fizzled out and killed the part of her brain that enjoyed gambling. Brain damage.
Brain damage.
Okay, so Orochimaru decides that Naruto has become too powerful. Okay. Naruto has become too powerful, so he has to kill him.
Apparently the bar is really low.
Really low. Okay.
Like competent Genin level, sort of.
He can learn one attack. He must be the most harmful threat.
In fairness, he's not wrong, but it reads more like, oh shit, this guy must be the main character, I need to kill him.
Kill him while his plot armor is weak.
So... Okay, this guy's winning too often by the power of love. Yeah, so tries to kill him, and Tsunade stops him. And
by taking the sword to the chest.
Yeah,
there are better ways to stop this.
Apparently not, because it happens a lot, especially to Naruto. I mean, you do remember how his parents died. Fucking claw right through both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently Naruto is going to be the future Hokage. And she's going to protect him. Oh, right. And the leaf, too, I guess. Because...
Sure, why not?
You know...
Fuck it. I'll be Hokage, why not? Whatever, who cares?
If there's one good thing out of all those shitty fics where Naruto gets banished after the fight with Sasuke later, it's that Tsunade usually just up and leaves afterward because she doesn't care about the village. She just came back for him.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree with that. And then, theoretically, she just goes back to what she was doing before.
Pretty much. That or traveling with him, depending on what challenge the writer's doing.
Yeah. I prefer the going back to being useless one. Just because... I hate this arc.
Well, I know what you love, gigantic animals.
Yeah, fucking Gamabunta and stuff. He's a toad.
He's a Yakuza toad, so he's cool.
Oh, right, they all summon them, don't they? Because this fight's still going on. Okay. They fight, and fight, and fight, and fight, and fight. Fight.
Itchy and Scratchy show.
Thank you. I wasn't going to do it, and I didn't care whether anyone finished it, but it was too perfect to not carry on doing that. Alright, so they're fighting, and then they stop, and Orochimaru runs away, and...
Hold on.
It's okay. I'm skipping ahead.
Hold on, there was one cool thing in that fight, and I want to highlight it. Tsunade slams Gamabunta's sword onto the snake. Manda, yeah. That's it, yeah. That was the coolest thing. I really liked it. But, yeah, aside from that, the entire fight was pointless. And showing that either Tsunade is really weak, far weaker than what we're sold, or Orochimaru is just really durable. She had his tongue and just kind of yo-yoed him back and forth with punches. It's like his face would be dust.
Aren't one of those
Yeah.
supposed to kill people? Everything.
Oh, his tongue would have ripped off. I imagine... Let's not even.
No, what?
Gag stuff. This was stuff that it was doing at the time. Alright, so, Tsunade's Hokage. Fucking whoop-de-fucking-do. I don't fucking...
Dude,
Okay.
chill. It's okay.
Okay. So, she's Hokage, that's great. And... Erika... something... Right, so they need to do missions and stuff or something. Tsunade saves Lee and stuff.
Which I'm really happy about. That's the best part of
Yeah.
the entire thing.
This entire thing...
It's just all just an excuse to save Lee.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd have been okay with it if they had brought Tsunade back and she had not become the Hokage.
She was just
And
there to
became-
run the hospital.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could. Yeah, all
basically
right.
did that. Or occasionally did missions as a field medic. That makes sense too. But someone else should, by all accounts, have been Hokage. This makes no sense. So, yeah. Tsunade's Hokage, and yay.
The
That's
Tsunade
pretty much
Kage. Yeah.
Okay,
So, that was...
final thoughts by someone that isn't me, because...
We were foreshadowed that Jiraiya is a terrible teacher.
Yeah.
I get the motivation behind his training. It's like, figure it out yourself, but you need to give hints, breadcrumb trails. You don't just throw somebody in the deep end. That doesn't make prodigies. That makes idiots who cheat
And it did.
cheese things.
He was very successful making it idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't need to make an idiot. Naruto was already there. It's established, in fact, that he was already in it.
I'm willing to bet if Naruto got, or at least was more serious about his training and was a competent Genin level, he would have been able to get that, at least, the whole natural genius thing from his parents, but, or at least intuitiveness. But as it was, as stunted as as his growth was, he didn't meet the minimum requirements to do that.
Yeah. So, all of my S's have t's at them. Like, every single one, because I keep saying Tsunade. Alright, so, that was that arc. I hated every moment of it. Except Guy.
True.
Arc needed more Rock Lee. The cheating exam was the Rock Lee show. It was just a series of dare to be awesome moments by Rock Lee, and this one didn't really have enough.
Yeah.
It didn't have any, so
Also,
this arc failed. Yeah.
Guy teaches us how to fight a Sharingan user, so that was pretty cool.
Kick him in the head.
No.
While he's not looking.
Apparently,
Well,
look
that
at
is a
their
valid
feet,
use,
No one
but-
ever uses that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the arc. I'm glad it's over. I was not looking forward to doing this one. So, but don't worry.
Next
Week we have the fan favorite. No, it's not. The Sasuke retrieval arc. Because, everyone was looking forward to this one.
I feel like this is just a series of disappointed events.
Pretty much, yeah.
Once again, this was supposedly the good part of the series.
Alright.
Okay.
We have
I suppose back then the running gags of the reincarnation and then you're just like who and blah, 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 whatever. It was still fresh back then, so it wasn't too bad. And the other
was only
parts
two
shined
or
more,
three at
but
most. There was,
What was that?
Tsunade. There was Tsunade, Orochimaru, and Jiraiya, and there was Sakura, Sasuke, Naruto, and then ended up being Kakashi, Ren, and Obito. And then it got more.
Then it was like a Team 7 tradition at that point, and yeah.
Okay, so we had comments, we had questions answered from the previous episode, and the questions were, what were the worst fights in both Bleach and Naruto? Alright, so, from Steven Z, or Steven Z, or Steven Z, his answer was, worst Naruto was chasing Deidara after fucking...
Sorcery fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he has Gaara's dead body with him.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, he didn't bring that with him. Never mind.
Yeah, he did.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Nope.
Apparently Deidara was being saved for a different fight. So,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, I can understand why Deidara was fighting like that, because Naruto had Kakashi with him. He wanted Naruto away from Kakashi, because Kakashi was the actual threat here. So he was running away the entire time, just trying to separate them.
Also, if you can fly, you would fight that like that as well. There is no downsides to this.
Yeah. Or he had an alternate pick, which was Choji versus Dosu. Which...
Yeah.
Minute and 30 seconds of my life that I never got back.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I was
Fight.
actually interested in the way Dosu fought, because the Melody Arm is a cool concept. The thing on his arm.
Was he
Is that the thing with the sonic waves?
Yeah.
Was
How he used it
Dosu
on-
deaf?
cool.
That's the only way I can see that weapon working
No,
and not harming the user.
he could control it. Like he could like send it directly into like Lee's eardrums, and it fucking maimed Lee.
Yeah. There are such things as directional microphones. I imagine the opposite is true.
Ah, alrighty.
So, yeah. And worst Bleach fight, by Steven Z's opinion, was Ganju versus...
Yumichika, the pretty one from...
I wrote Deidara. I was wrong. I mucked it up. But it's Yumichika, yes. Ganju versus Yumichika. I disagree, personally.
I would like it. Yumikuchi is... I said the name wrong. Anyway. I like his fighting style, and he has some pretty cool abilities, but he was fighting a comic relief character. It couldn't be taken seriously.
He was, but, you know, they're both kind of comic relief characters, and Ganju did have some interesting abilities, too, like the whole turning things into sand was pretty cool.
And I can't take that fight anything more than what it was at the time, because everything at the time was low tier. We didn't know Yumichika had a broken-ass kind of Zanpakuto move that he never uses.
Because it wasn't beautiful?
Because it wasn't Squad 11.
Ah,
because
right.
of keto-based Zanpakuto. They don't like those. So, yeah, I kind of disagree, but, you know, if you didn't like that one, that's a fair opinion. It was kind of a gag fight, a little bit. So, Hokkaido Master, which is HM Master. What up, dude? He said something about the final fights of the tuning exam. He didn't, in this bit, actually say what his favorite fights were, but... the final fights of the tuning exams did actually happen because they happened later on in the forest while they were chasing down Gaara. Good point. Well
Fair
made.
enough.
I had not actually realized that. So, yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Now, his actual worst picks for fights were Sasuke versus Orochimaru after the time skip.
You mean the cripple fight?
Yeah, cripple fight.
Yeah. I imagine it was for the after the time skip and not the one in the Forest of Death.
Yeah.
Either way, they were kind of curb stomp fights.
Well, one of them was against a child, and the other one was stabbing a guy in a bed.
Yeah.
That's my kind of idea of a fight. I don't know what you think. I would prefer that fight over an actual fight, so personally.
Wow,
Yeah,
I thought that was going to be my response. I mean, I expected Kenshi to be all about the fair fight, but...
Oh,
right.
I enjoy a fair fight, but there's just something like knowing you have a sure thing. There's nothing like it.
Right.
Okay. His alternate pick was Sasuke versus Deidara. Lightning beats Earth. Nothing more needs to be said.
Hey, Datara, you know all those cool explosion things you did before that made your character awesome? Yeah, those don't work anymore.
Yeah. At the very least, the mouth over his heart ability thing was pretty cool. I mean, this is a way to go out, that's for sure.
Okay, so, and worst Bleach was Barragan's Fraction against all of the Flunkies. So, basically it was a Flunky fight versus a Flunky fight.
Flunky.
How many Fraction did he have, anyway?
He had a
4.
shit ton. Oh, I thought he had more.
No, he had 4, one for each pillar.
Oh, yeah, I thought he was the one that had, like, 12.
I can't remember anyone that had that many.
What's his name? Pig-haired dude, doctor guy.
Xylapro?
Yeah, Xylapro. He had like a bunch, but he ended up eating like half of them.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I kind of... Yumi Chika's reveal of what a Zanpakuto actually is was kind of cool. And that was against Charlotte, whatever his name was.
Charlotte
Coolhorn.
Coolhorn. Don't forget his name.
Yeah.
He's flamboyant.
That was pretty cool. I like that one. And I kind of like all of them. Well, I can't remember what one of them was.
I hate the one where Soifon had to fight the tiger dude. That was annoying.
Yeah. I don't think that was one of them.
It was.
How so?
Was it?
Yeah. Because fucking Captain should not have trouble with someone's fraction. It took way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
But on the other hand, Kira versus whoever it was when he reveals the whole weighing down opponents thing of his sword.
That was pretty good.
If you hit someone over and over, it doubles the weight every time until they're on their knees, and then it's curved so that he can hook it under someone and execute them. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it was Gin, wasn't it? Or...
He was Gin's lieutenant.
No, I mean, he was fighting another Shinigami when he did that, but I don't know who it was.
No, he wasn't, I don't think.
Oh, alright.
No, I'm pretty sure that was a Fraction as well. But yeah, it was dark, but it was a cool fight.
Well, Kira is dark. He's not really an upbeat character.
And we had Ikaku, who didn't want to use his Bankai because captains were around.
Stupid reason.
Yeah, it was
He didn't want to be promoted. And
they already knew about it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, next, Ethan F., my bro. He says, the worst Naruto was the bell test. Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
I mean...
It's a bad one.
Yeah, but they were kids. They're not compatible, so they were gonna suck. They weren't compatible.
We also mentioned before that this is a terrible test in general because they're not taught teamwork at the academy, assumedly, and they're the team that has the least amount of teamwork. They were put together because of their grades, not because of their compatibility.
Hell, they were taught to compete, not to...
Yeah, class
together.
rankings and shit. You make fun of the lowest person in the fucking totem pole.
Yeah, that's actually how it works in Japan, so that is absolutely how it worked there. I mean, it's kind of the opposite in Western culture, where the smart kids get picked on and stuff, but, yeah. Worst Bleach was Rukia versus Arunyero Arurieri. I love saying that name every single time, because it makes you feel awesome when you get it right.
I can't say it. There's too many vowels.
Arunyero
Not even gonna try.
Arurieri.
How do you even spell that?
Yes,
You don't.
consonants. 2 consonants in that entire name.
All right, take your hands, place them above your keyboard, and just mash them downward. You'll probably get his name eventually. Are you actually doing it?
I can hear it.
That's not me typing.
Ah, okay.
I believe that's how it's spelled. You asked. I answered.
Oh, wow. So he could be a member of the panty and stocking thing? With the roo.
Yep. Arunyero Arurieri. It's great.
That's what you do when you don't can't think of any more names. Just like, give me a letter. A. Another one. A. All right, we got this.
Yeah.
Anyway, that fight was, I don't know, it was supposed to be a trickery thing, but all it ended up doing is making her pissed off.
Mm.
Although I guess it did give us some backstory and why she latched onto Ichigo so easily, I guess.
Mm.
He looks exactly like him.
It's that jawline and the nose.
Yeah.
A family resemblance, apparently.
And, I mean, if this was like DBZ, the art style for Toriyama, I would not buy it because everyone looks the same, but at least in Bleach there is a lot of variety to be had.
There is, yeah. I mean, you can tell they look alike, and it's significant how they look alike.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Fair enough. But yeah, the fight was kind of lame.
I mean, for someone who absorbed the powers from a fuck ton of hollows, he sure didn't use many of them, did he?
I think it was like 30,000. I absorbed 30,000 powers, but I'm only going to use this one.
It's because 99% of them were just tentacles.
Yeah, that was the joke, I believe, in a comic or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I also did not mention the joke about Sasuke versus Deidara, and Deidara's like, what the fuck? Electric beats Earth? Did you not play Pokemon or something? Yeah, I like that comic. It was good. Alright, so, Antonio K. West Bleach was Ichigo versus Aizen, the final fight, Mugetsu and shit like that, yeah. Again, it was a curb stomp battle, and it was supposed to be like, oh, Ichigo's sacrificing himself to save the day and stuff.
But he didn't.
Kind of no. It kind of ruined that. It could have been okay if it actually, went along with it and the story ended.
Would have been a great ending, actually.
Would have been an okay ending. I'd have been cool with that. A little bit redeeming, even. Because Aizen was so fucking broken that someone literally had to give up everything just to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been okay. The villain wants to have everything, so the hero has to sacrifice everything to save the day. It's not exactly, rare or anything, but it's a decent plot thread and theme. Worst Naruto was the second bell test.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who said the growth thing?
It was the commenter. It was Antonio K, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was designed to show that how they had grown, and that's pretty much all that it showed. That they were 2 years older and nothing else. That they were exactly the same.
I still love that. It's great.
He also, as an alternate, would be Madara versus the Ninja Alliance, which, no. Guy punching him like 60 feet and breaking some ribs was awesome.
Don't forget double meteors.
Yeah.
And Tsunade wood clones. Susanoo wood clones.
That double meteor was great.
Double meteor.
I know it was dumb, but it was great. Okay. Neil said West Bleach was Yami versus Kenpachi and Byakuya. We kind of didn't see that fight, so I imagine that's why.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that. It might have just been that the anime skipped over it, but we kind of saw that, hey, this fight's going to happen, and then we cut away, and then we cut back, and they'd already won. So
they cut back. They cut back in a, oh man, that fight was awesome. You should have been there kind of fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
All
is not. Don't tease your viewer like that. That's stupid.
It would have been nice to see Kenpachi win a fight.
What do you mean?
Well, the whole thing so far had been like, hey, Kenpachi's super strong, you should be scared of him and stuff. He's like the strongest captain and stuff. And then Ichigo beats him like not even that difficultly. It kind of sucked at the time.
He kind of got his swag back when he fought Neutra, though.
I don't remember that. So
Neutra couldn't even cut him.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I think he got disarmed. all
Bleach.
4 times.
The
Or
story
6
of
times.
the
I don't
story
know.
of how Kenpachi got his swag back.
Okay. And Neil's worst Naruto fight was Danzo versus Sasuke, where the bullshit Uchiha thing grew. It did not get to ridiculous levels quite yet, surprisingly, despite the whole breaking reality thing, but it got worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Trying to decide whether it was a bad fight in and of itself, though. I think it was okay.
I like that fight. Mostly because of the ending. He Sharingan Genjutsu Danzo into thinking he had one Izanagi left. And then killed him. Put him in a situation where he could sacrifice the last Izanagi to get a fatal shot in on Sasuke. And he didn't have one left.
Yeah. You know, that brings back the ninja trickery thing that we lost a long time ago in the series, so that was okay. Yeah. I mean, what it represents for the series was bad, but the fight itself was not terrible. Sir Bladestar. Worst Bleach was Shinji versus Aizen. Yeah, it's like what we said. I can't remember who we said it for, but what we said before about. Oh yeah, it's actually the same concept. It's an illusionist versus an illusionist. Only one of them is clearly much better at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of.
Shinji's power kind of didn't make sense. It turned everything backwards, including what you were seeing. So you were seeing what was behind you?
Don't know.
Would it be upside down, or would it be reflected, or would it be both, or would it be flipped diagonally
all
somehow?
of it, apparently. I don't know.
All of the above, I guess.
That's some non-Euclidean geometry stuff going on right there. I don't fucking know. Jesus. Alright, and worst Naruto fight was the war. Just all of it.
Alright,
And
fair enough.
There's a case to be made, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At the very
Okay.
least, I do like the fact that they're fighting an enemy that is very clearly evil. You're not going to have any tragic backstory in the middle of the fight. I sure as hell hope not, anyway. Oh no, Zetsu was abused as a child. That's why he's evil now. Somebody kicked his dog.
Actually, kind of. You do remember that Zetsu was the younger brother of what's-his-name.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
Shadows.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, our shouts for worst fights of both. Let's start with Bleach.
Let me think. For Bleach, I have to say, now that it's been mentioned, the Kenpachi Ichigo fight was really disappointing. It was it's just that in hindsight, you hype Kenpachi up now as he was literally the strongest person, and he had all these limits and whatnot. And I'm just thinking, why couldn't we just have made that fight, save that fight for later at least, and then made it more awesome?
At least it was visually appealing at the time. With the skulls behind him, the stands, as it were.
Yeah. But he
you know what?
Yeah.
I would have rather seen Ichigo fight Ukitake.
Alright, yeah.
Because, yes, Ichigo would have gotten his ass handed to him a lot, but we could still have Ichigo learning his Zanpakuto's name and all that power-up stuff, and Ichigo could start to hold his own.
And he could have had an out to win.
Ukitake could have had an attack of whatever the hell disease he has, and would have to pull back.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have lost how awesome the captains are supposed to be, but Ichigo could still get his power up from being in a desperate situation.
That's nice. I like that.
Plus, we could have had some cool banter because it's Ukitake who is Ruki's captain.
Yeah. I imagine that would be a very friendly fight, at least dialogue-wise.
Mm.
Well,
really,
maybe.
It's really easy, let's be fair, it's really easy to nitpick and hindsight these stories and improve them like this, but
Listen,
let's be honest, as it was going, it would have been a lot harder to come up with these concepts.
Yeah.
Saying what we know in hindsight, I see it as this. Kubo came up with an awesome Shinigami character to fight Ichigo. He wanted to use him. He used him.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's see, worst fights. I think Ichigo against Grand Fisher, maybe.
Actually, yeah, maybe.
We're not okay. I guess every filler fight ever, but I mean, I don't know if we're gonna count those.
I want to throw out I want to. Somebody had said the Aizen and Ichigo fight, and I want to say, yeah, they were really right on it being anticlimactic because it was building up to this, and it ended in one episode with a final attack. And for how much build-up there wasn't a lot of payoff. And
I guess, yeah.
Like, coming from me who watches Dragon Ball, and you have the Frieza fight, which lasts who knows how many episodes, and there was a lot
15,
of build-up for
20.
that. There was a lot of payoff for that. Once you met Frieza, you're like, okay, this fight's gonna last a while because he's a really tough guy.
People died. Power-ups were gained.
Yeah, it was a big, monumental, important fight that, like, made Frieza a very, iconic character. On the other side, you have Aizen. Yeah, you have Aizen, and, okay, I've been training for this fight with Aizen. You go, I'm curb stomping you. Now I'm curb stomping you. No, wait, I've got the technique to curb stomp you.
I think
And then it's
Aizen
over.
did become an iconic character, but it was never for how he fights.
Yeah. We never really got to see much of Aizen actually fighting Ichigo, like, all out.
It was all planning. It was all, I know the answer to this. I have been planning this for so long. I have my fingers in so many pies. Ichigo, I helped create you as you are now, and all that stuff. That made him iconic as a ridiculously weird chess master villain that kind of wasn't a chess master and kind of felt like he was just trying to sell that image. He was never particularly strong in and of himself, so I can understand why they didn't go for the big blowout multi-chapter fight between the two of them at the end.
I just would have liked to see that, though.
Mm.
Anytime Chad has a fight with any character of any name value,
Yep.
Chad never gets any shine.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
You remember when he had that one fight where he came up with a new power and it was like his left arm was super badass?
Yeah.
And then the very next fight he was in, he loses because he gets his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
He gets his arm chopped off, or at least part of it. The shield arm, too.
So, yeah. Poor Chad.
Everybody else in the Shinigami Invasion arc got a showcase fight. Chad did not. He just went through mooks. Then when he got to Shunfui, he got mowed down.
Oh, yeah, that fight lasted all of 3 seconds.
Yeah. I kind of want to say it's the worst one, but it's not because, yeah, that was an example of being ridiculously outclassed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and at least Chad knew it. He was like, yeah, you're totally going to beat me, aren't you? He's like, yep. Sorry. Do you want to just sort of surrender right now? No, I'd rather go out fighting. He's like, okay. And just, that's it. It's over.
Chad's a realist, at the very least. I
Yeah.
mean, I like that about him.
Oh, that was good. Who hasn't gone? Anyone?
All I
Just
have
me?
left is the best fight, and I don't know.
That was, I think we did that one.
Oh,
Worst fight for Bleach. I'm struggling. I think maybe Yami the first time he shows up.
Who's that?
The big guy.
Number 10 / number 0.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Right. I
And Ichigo's all
forgot
gun
about him.
shy. Ichigo's all gun shy because of his mask thing, so he doesn't really fight.
Oh, okay, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Doesn't it take control of him momentarily and then he loses an arm because of it? So the fight would have lasted all of 2 seconds if he wouldn't have stopped holding back.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, Yami's arm gets cut off.
There you go.
Kicked off.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that one's the worst one in my opinion. Naruto. Worst fight in Naruto. I'll go first. What's a fucking name? I forget what it is. Kaguya? Is that it?
That's it.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't even need to... do I need to explain why?
Yeah.
Not really.
There was one good moment, and that was the reverse harem thing. Because
Yeah,
that was funny as shit.
that was
but
good,
beyond
yeah.
that, no. It was pointless, nonsensical, it came out of nowhere. And we got nothing from it, except supposedly something that united Team 7 again, only for them to immediately break up again after it was done. So, great. It added nothing. It literally added nothing to the story.
Yeah, you pretty much could have skipped that fight. Naruto and Sasuke fight.
Sorry, what?
You pretty much could have skipped that fight and just had Naruto and Sasuke fight. And
Pretty much. If he just had Madara get beaten there and then that was it. Nothing would have changed.
Yeah, pretty much. We would have lost the reincarnation thing, I think. That
I
didn't
would
come
have
in
been
until that point, did it?
completely fine with that.
I know.
Completely okay with that. We didn't even need that.
No, we still would have had the reincarnation thing. It just would have been one step shorter.
Right. Ow. Ow.
Okay. Next. Anyone else?
Yeah, the bridge fight, the very first arc, Haku versus Naruto and Sasuke. I liked
Okay.
the fight itself, but that whole brotherhood thing between Sasuke and Naruto was just shoved down our throat. That's the first time, really, that happened. I mean, when they were training with the tree walking thing, it was kind of a camaraderie thing, I guess, and I was fine with that, but it's the Sasuke taking the needles for Naruto. It was just,
Yeah, that's... I suppose you could still see that as camaraderie, but that absolutely wasn't what they were going for, so yeah. Anyone else?
Naruto. I haven't done Naruto yet. Worst fight in Naruto. That's really hard because there's a few that I could actually pick, and there's a few that I really don't want to.
I got one.
Okay, you go.
Naruto versus Kakazu.
Okay.
The one where everybody else did all the fighting and took all of his hearts away, and then Naruto comes picks the bones with a big Rasengan that
Yeah.
has blades on it.
And then everyone praises him for how awesome he is.
Meanwhile, we had Shikamaru's more awesome killing of Hidan.
That was pretty cool.
it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the last time anybody wins by a strategy.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Shikamaru should have been the main character.
I'm not so keen on that. I do constantly wish for smart characters to be protagonists, but Shikamaru's personality doesn't lend itself to being the focus.
Reluctant hero.
Reluctant hero, yes, but he's not reluctant, he is catatonic.
Fine.
Hey, Zero, your worst fight for Naruto.
I would have to say, if I had to go with one, let's just say Sakura versus Ino. Because
That's a really easy pick, but
it is a real easy pick, and the reason should be fairly self-explanatory.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the questions answered for ourselves and for everyone else. So thanks for commenting, giving us your answers. Some interesting stuff came up, so thanks a lot. And our questions for this week. Okay, Bleach. The question is, what the hell are Ichigo and Ko doing right now? Are they playing strip poker? Go fish? Maybe they're, I don't know, playing I Spy. I bet I Spy would be really fun while you're flying through whatever the fuck they're flying through at the moment.
I Spy something gunmetal gray. Is it the inside of the bullet? You got it.
And the Naruto question is, who do you think would have made a better Hokage than Tsunade? Given what we know at the time of when she was chosen to be Hokage, not, in the future. So, I guess that means we can't include Yamato or Danzo.
Yeah. As an additional question to that, don't limit your... Okay, give a one who lives in Konoha first, and then give a gag answer that's just anybody in the entire series.
Okay.
I wonder if they have Shinigami trading cards in the Sarate.
Probably.
They might.
Oh god, what if they're playing Magic? So fucking lame.
They can't. They don't have Uryu anymore, and he was totally their magic guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Ichigo's a Yu-Gi-Oh man.
Yeah, and then there's Chad. I like the Pokemon trading card game. It's a lot more nuanced than people realize,
You would totally be that kind of person, too.
Okay, so thanks for listening to this stuff we did. And what was it? Bleach 607 and the search, that arc that we did. So thanks for listening. Bye now and stuff.
Bye.
Dear God.